Hiker Guy here, and we're back with another episode. Today we're going to be talking all about items that you should bring with you when you're backpacking. So the very first item that we're going to be talking about today is a portable charging bank for your phone. Now this is very useful because if your phone's dead and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you get lost, you have no way of contacting anybody. Your phone has a feature where no matter what, you can always call 911. As long as you have a charged phone, you're pretty much set. So I always like to make sure that I bring an extra charger with me, and just in case of that emergency situation, I can plug my phone in real quick, let it charge up, and make that phone call. So the next item that we have on our list today is these very shiny, very nice aluminum blankets. So these are basically used for when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're freezing cold and you don't know when somebody's going to find you. These could be a really good SOS signal to somebody that's flying up above you, because when you are wearing it or you're using it as a blanket, it's very, very reflective from the sun. So I would highly suggest getting those for your pack. They're very lightweight. They don't weigh more than maybe a couple of ounces. Then the next item that we've got here, we've got a waterproof fire kit. This kit comes with a Light Me Tinder, a Spark Force fire starter, and an instruction sheet. Now, I always appreciate when something comes with an instruction sheet. I try to keep all of my instruction sheets, because if you're not somebody that's overly familiar with how to use the item, you've got your baseline right there. So next up, we're going to be talking about some lighting, some different forms of lighting that I like to carry. So the very first light I like to carry is this little electronic light that you hand crank it, and then you turn it on, and every time you crank it, it gives it more power, so it can't really ever die on you. However, the electronics in it may not be the most reliable, and on top of that, you never know when it could get water lodged or something like that, because I don't have it water safe like I do most of my items. However, I carry these nice water safe 6-inch light sticks around with me when I'm backpacking, and just in case I'm in an emergency, it gets late at night and I can't see where I'm going, or I would like to be able to see to set up a campsite because for some reason I didn't have a site set up before dark. Lots of reasons why you should carry those 6-inch light sticks, and once again, because they're waterproof, it does become very, very useful. So here we've got a compass, whistle, and a waterproof storage container that you can put maybe Advil, your medications in if you're going on a long hike and you're somebody that needs to take medications. The compass, I always say when you start your adventure, you should always check what direction you're going. And if you ever get lost, at the very least, you can check what direction that you're going now, try to head back in the direction that you started from, and hopefully either come across a trail or come close to where you had started in the first place. The whistle is very useful for, say you're hiking with friends, you fall down a hill, you get yourself injured somehow, and they don't know because you went off to go to the bathroom or something like that. This whistle could save your life, because now you just blow on the whistle, your friends hear a whistle go, and they're going to come over, they're going to check on it. When they see you there, they're going to hopefully have a first aid kit. And when they come to you and they have that first aid kit, it's going to be nice, waterproof, so you know all the items inside are safe. And then once you have all your situation taken care of, say your friends aren't so familiar with a broken leg or a splint, well, we've got a nice little emergency first aid guide here. Now, emergency first aid guides, and we've got some learn and live first aid flashcards here, actually. Once again, like I said before, you should always try to keep guides. You should always try to keep some sort of knowledge at your hand, because just because you know a lot, because you're an avid backpacker and you've been doing it for a long time, doesn't mean that every situation you come across is going to be something you're familiar with. So I always suggest bringing something that's going to help you in a situation that you're not familiar with. So coming up, we've got a water straw. These water straws are really useful. I see them all over the place now. They're really not that expensive, and they can filter up to, like 10,000 gallons of water. So when you're out in the middle of nowhere, even if you're just trying to be conservative because you're on a long backpacking trip and you didn't bring, as much water as you would have liked, you have this water straw. You can conserve on your water. On top of that, if you get lost, almost any puddle out there, any water out there is drinkable through this straw. So that's something that I would highly suggest. Also, as you can see underneath, I've got a little Ziploc baggie. I always tend to keep this in here. Also, I don't have the other part with it, but there is another pouch that comes with this, right? And you can basically fill up your pouch, travel with the water in it, and then drink through the pouch, through the straw, and keep your water nice and clean that way. Here we've got an assortment of knives and multi-tools, so we're going to be going over some of the advantages and disadvantages of these multi-tools. So this first one here I've got is pretty nice. It's got some pliers on it. It's got a little miniature saw, which I like for when I'm going out and trying to search for like turkey tail mushroom. You kind of cut those from, the wood and try to keep away all the extra stuff. So a little saw can be really useful. However, it is a little bit heavier than I like. This whole apparatus probably weighs a solid pound almost. So, it's a little heavier than what I like to keep in my backpack and pack. Now, this knife I actually have here, it's a really nice, sharp, nice knife, and it's one of my favorites. However, I don't really suggest using camo knives, because when you're out in the woods backpacking, you drop your camo knife, it's going to be a lot harder to find than something like this. That's a nice, lightweight, stainless steel multi-tool. Now, this is my big preference. It's easy to see. If just a little bit of sunlight shines on it, it's going to reflect off from it. It's going to make it easier for you to find if you do drop it. And on top of that, like I said, it's much more lightweight than my other multi-tool. It's still got a lot of useful tools on it, although I don't believe it has a saw. So, like I said, every tool has its advantage and disadvantage, and in this case, I would definitely try to go with the stainless steel silver multi-tool every time. Now, my last item here for the day is an emergency tent. It's basically just an orange tarp. It's got some string. I always try to bring a little bit of extra paracord. I don't have any extra paracord right now today, but I will be getting more soon. Basically, I also have a little instruction pamphlet in here that tells me exactly how I should set up a tarp tent, which is always very useful, so that if you're lost in the woods, you don't necessarily have room to set up your regular tent, or you had to abandon your regular tent due to, whatever circumstances. These things are perfect. You can set them up anywhere, basically. If worst comes to worst, you can use it as a blanket. And the only thing is, you got to keep it away from your flames, your heat source. Please don't, make a fire right underneath of your tarp. You're going to catch yourself on fire that way. And I think that's about all we've got for you guys today. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to see more.